Welcome back to the detailing bay again. On today's episode we're going to be looking at some bug and tar removers. And we've got this daily driver in front of us. It's covered in bugs, tar, and also some bird droppings that have dried in. So we've got a few products in front of us.
Yeah.
Walk us through them, Dave.
Yeah, so you've got a classic that everyone will recognise, the Chemical Guys one,
remover,
which is, it's quite, it goes for the stronger approach. You can dilute it down, or if needs must, use it neat, depending on what you're doing, because it is a bit more towards a hybrid in terms of it will tackle small tar spots as well. Bigger stuff it won't do too great at, but for as a bug remover it works well.
What kind of dilution do you reckon? I'm just having a quick look on bottle, but
yeah, so
something like that, like 10 to 1.
Yeah, it's now with 10 to 1 because every situation is different. It depends where you live in the countryside, city driving, to what you want. So if you're not getting tons, it can work out really economical. Valet Pro, typical fashion, have gone for that more gentle approach where it's designed more to penetrate and disturb the bond between what's on there and the paint. Okay. Doing that makes it more or less pH neutral, so it's a much more balanced one. So in terms of, like, you don't have to worry about coatings, but waxes and sealants.
You can always rely on Valet Pro for having that pH neutral.
Having a little bit more thought, going at strength. And then what's nice is, I was never a big fan of the old Meguiars bug remover. It's always like a bit greasy, didn't seem to do too much. But then they brought out this one, and the nice addition to it is, more than anything, is it's like a foam-based one. And it stays in place, so it tackles.
So it kind of dwells like a snow foam.
Yeah. And you wonder if, like, the aerating it and is all going to work, and it seems to work. Agitating it, working really well. And then you've got a classic from Pro, which is just more along the lines of that, towards the strength.
Yeah. Is that ready to use, or is it?
Yeah, you can go straight to, ready to use, spray it on the area. And all of them will work well on bugs as they will on dried on bird droppings as well. I mean, ideally you want to get your bird droppings straight away with the most lubricating product, but we've all been there, been on holiday or whatever, and it's, you don't always catch them straight away, especially in the summer.
It etches in. And there's a bit of a crossover on this product with tar as well. I've always treated bugs and tar as two different products.
It depends what the base of the product is. Like it has been demoed before, you've got certain waxes, and if they're like a petroleum base on very light tar, it will lift it, it will start to soften it. And the same applies for these. The Valet Pro one won't at all, just because of it's trying to be a little bit different in its makeup. It's not reliant on strength. But all the others, to a degree, depending on it, this one more so, but they all will, to a degree, if it's light tar spots, very light, will help remove them. But you just got to be mindful as well, as if it's not being removed with a wipe, then you want to use a dedicated tar remover, because you don't want to be scrubbing, because you're just going to create
That's the thing, there's actually quite a difference in the feel of between a sort of a bug remover, which is usually a bit more soapy, like a strong QD if you like, with a bit more alkali maybe, and a tar remover which, like you spray and it almost dissolves the tar. So it's strange. I'd be interested to try something that kind of
it's just a solvent base. When you finally come over to a tar remover, it's you just all out it's the solvents. That's what you need on it really. It's the only way you're going to soften it.
Right, well, shall we? We've got some bits on here, shall we? Which one are you going to pick for us to demo?
I'm going to go with, decisions.
Stress. Really? I thought you were going to go Valet Pro. Right, let's get a trigger in it. Shall we do this little section here, because we've got some dried on bugs here. I suspect stuff like that's probably going to be
this is like the high impact area, and as you can see, and it's never really been dealt with.
They're not fresh bugs. In fact, they're probably from last summer, do you reckon?
Maybe the one before.
So if you want to give it a spray then, and then we'll let it dwell. So the temperature in here is nice and cool, with no problems.
Dwell time can be long. You've got to be mindful that if it's warm, you don't want it to dry on. It's going to cause you another whole host of problems. But here, we've got that. It's cold.
Go for it, give it a spray then.
Cool. Right, just let that do its magic for a minute or two. So here now, while we're just letting that dwell, you can see the possible benefits of a more foamed base one. That fear, and what catches people out is not necessarily a problem with running off. A lot of the time you would be doing the whole front end anyway, but there is always that risk. You always got to be mindful, especially when you're starting to get into like gloss black trims and whatnot, is people are so focused on around here, they're missing the bits running off, and then they'll come back and they're going, oh, what are these little run marks? And it's because it's dried on. So always be mindful when using the looser ones that it is going to run off. It's going to get into every nook and cranny. So it's always best, really, with other than us demoing it, is using a pressure washer to get it out of all the nooks and crannies.
Well, yeah, that's good practice. But I was just going to say, would you prep the car first, wash it, foam it?
I tend to spray it on
and then jet it,
and then I'll maybe do a pre-rinse, or it depends how bad it is. But you want to get the product directly on there. So if it's got a big film build up on it as well, get it clean.
Remove
and then
that first.
Yeah. So if you chuck us a cloth, we'll give it a wipe, and we'll let's see what we've. So it has. You can see there. It has
one pass done its job on it.
It has.
So as this is dried now and hazed off, and I'm looking at it in the light, you can see that those bugs have etched into the lacquer. So is it a case of what would you try now? Would you try another pass with it? Would you go for a clay bar, or are you looking at
this is where you're at a crossroads, so it depends how far you want to go with it. There's no harm in just having another hit. It's a no-brainer. So yeah, I'd give it a lighter one, go again, and kind of see what I'm left with, and then kind of accept it's probably as far as the product can deliver at that point. Then your crossroads is where do you go from there.
Exactly.
You could try like a tar remover, or you can clay it. It's small enough now to tackle with clay without having any as least impact on the paint as possible in terms of
all these products, we're looking at the to remove bugs and drop-ins. They're not going to fix something that's gone beyond that point.
No, and I think like 99% of the market there, it has done its job there. It's just if you want to be really like finicky with it, they're saying, well, right, there is just a little bit of roughness there, but this is a daily car as well.
Shall we give it a go on the dried up bird droppings?
Yes,
I think that's going to be tougher to shift. This has been left far too long, hasn't it? Because it will etch the paint if it's left.
It will, and it may have got there already, but you still need to deal with it. So let's get a little bit on. Don't need too much, and we'll just let that dwell for a little minute. There's no harm as well if you want to just use your microfibre to just prevent it running down, depending on where you've gone.
Give it a wipe now. Let's test it.
I was going to say,
it's only had 10 seconds, but let's just see how strong it is.
So there you see it there. It's taken that away.
It has. We'll put the links to the products that we've used in the description below, and also the ones that you saw at the beginning bit. Tell us your favourite products, what you use, and we'll give the comments a read. Any questions, just ask. And as always, like, subscribe, and give us a follow.